Testing, testing. Let's see if anyone shows up. So we don't lose any connection this time. Okay, hopefully we're good. Hopefully we won't lose any connection this time. So anyway, welcome to another Disney watch along. This time we're covering Disney's 12th animated film and the return to the narrative structure after a barrage of package films, and that being Cinderella. Um, Honestly, this is a classic that I remember loving as a kid, and I still like to this day. But I noticed that tends to get a lot of hate nowadays for reasons I'm not sure exactly. Well, I mean, I've heard the arguments, and they're a lot of them sound pretty weak if you ask me. So anyway, that's what we're gonna be doing today. This hopefully this time the stream won't crash again like last time because this is actually my second time doing this because the last time I did, I was almost done with the movie, and then suddenly we lost connection in the last 10 minutes. Like it couldn't wait any longer. But yeah, hopefully we won't lose connection again, and we can just go ahead and start the movie then. So let me just go and put these headsets on. Um, okay, sorry, it took a while for the thing to connect. I guess we'll go and get started in 3, 2, 1. Well, actually, okay. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. Apparently, this was one of Walt's favorite films he worked on, so that's saying something. Opening the book. It's always a classic. Some of them they just don't do nowadays. Young Cinderella kind of looks like Alice, almost. I will give the 2015 remake some credit that they do go more into Cindy's childhood with her parents. Also, apparently, this is the narrator here is the voice actress of Cruella Deville, so that's an interesting little trivia tidbit there. See, I think that's the thing a lot of people nowadays miss with this film is like with Cinderella, they want to assume that she's just like a lot of people, I guess, question did she deserve her happy ending? I personally think she does because, like the narrator just said, is that despite her tough times right now, she's being treated like a slave and treated like unfairly. She still remains kind, caring, and loving. So, to keep her dreams alive, that her happiness will come true. And we have this iconic Disney song, which I will say, as much as I do like this film, I will admit the music is not one of my favorite Disney soundtracks. Like, it's not that the songs are bad; it's just I don't find them as memorable or catchy as, say, a lot of the Disney Renaissance songs. Like, I get that "Dream That You Wish May Come True" is one of their iconic songs. Like, it's almost one of their anthems, apart from "When You Wish Upon a Star." Yeah, there's Jacques or Jack, whatever they call him. Don't you just love how in old cartoons they would portray mice with string tails that get easily tangled up, even though in real life their tails have bone, so that wouldn't work. Otherwise, your bones would break. But cartoon logic. I didn't know the clock is a he. At least she has her mice and bird friends to help her get ready in the morning. a lot of people have issues with the mice in this movie, and they take up way too much screen time. And admittedly, admittedly, yeah, maybe they do take up more screen time than they should. And screen time they probably could have given to develop more Cinderella's character and show more of her childhood. But honestly, I will take these mice over, say, the minions or the rabbits any day. At least these guys have character to them and aren't just brain rot and butt noises, you know. How is Gus short for Octavius? Then again, how is Dick short for Richard? I mean, I don't know. Names are weird. I can't imagine what it'd be like that this is your home. This is your home from your childhood, and yet you end up becoming the servant in your own place, being treated unfairly. It's and there's Lucifer. He's as stubborn as a real cat. Yeah, orders, orders. Yeah, hello Anita again. Yeah, I know we're doing this again because last time the last 10 minutes of the stream were cut off essentially. So let's hope this doesn't happen again. I mean, third time's a charm. Yes, I know. I stated that earlier that this is their 12th film they did, and they returned to the traditional princess fairy tale since Snow White. Yeah, that's what I just said. Their newest princess film since Snow White. Quite a burn there, Lucifer. It says so when even the kind, sweet Cinderella can't think of anything good to say about you. Yes, I stated earlier that Cronenberg narrates the movie. And by narrates, I mean only the beginning because honestly, I don't understand the point of having a narrator if they're not going to be in the whole movie. I mean, I don't know. And yes, I know. Yeah. The same actress who voiced Lady Shrimp would later voice Maleficent. Yes, I know. Yeah, that's something. That's something else I've heard that apparently the actress who voices Anastasia would later voice Smurfette, which crazy. Talk about two completely different types of characters. Yeah, I mentioned that already. That I mean, I'd argue that the mice are more tolerable than the minions or the rabbits. That's just me though. Maybe that's just my childhood because I grew up with this film. So who knows? And then it turned into a Tom and Jerry cartoon. Um, I don't know if Ratchet and Clank will be appearing here as villains. I got a lot on my plate with the series. I never played the games or anything like that, so and I'm not sure about the Looney Tunes. Again, I've said before, it's best just to wait and see what will appear in the series. I want to keep some surprises, so guys, come on, it's not worth it. You have enough corn in your hands. I'm pretty sure if you go on the Disney Wiki, it'll tell you what the actual name of the prince from Cinderella is. I'm pretty sure most people refer to him as Prince Charming, but I think in one of the sequels they say it's like Henry or something like that. I mean, yeah, I mean, I would say Snow White also is about a character who has their dreams come true. I mean, that's just saying. Yeah, we're over 18 minutes of this film. We're finally getting to the stepmother and sisters. Yeah, I guess as an adult, I don't realize I've forgotten just how much of this film is dedicated just to mice, which I can imagine that'll turn off a lot of people from this film. I can see why that bit can't become a meme. Yeah, no, that is what makes Lady Tremaine such a compelling Disney villain is how she doesn't have any magic powers, yet she still is up there as one of Disney's most evil antagonists ever. And Cindy almost lost one of her shoes. Foreshadowing much? I'm talking about when she nearly lost her shoe right there when she was Lucifer was trying to get Gus. Yeah, I know. The best things that come out of the Cinderella sequels is the Anastasia redemption arc. Like they didn't have to do that, but they actually kind of did a decent job with that. So, and, and yeah, this was apparently Disney's first film made by the Nine Old Men. So, big names in their history. And there she is, Lady Tremaine, sitting there stroking her cat like a James Bond villain. Um, I would say I'm excited for the Mario Galaxy movie, but I mean, it looks like it could at least be fun. So, I mean, I thought the first Mario movie was a lot of fun, even as someone who did not grow up with Mario. So, kind of was hoping Daisy would at least be in the film so that we get some Daisy and Luigi, but maybe they'll save that for the third film. But yeah, I know Rosalina's supposed to be in this one, and Yoshi, and apparently Fishy Boomkins. Which yeah, I know his name isn't Fishy Boomkins. I just think of that character because of SMG4. So Yes, and Bowser Jr. too. So, and we have the King and the Grand Duke. Yeah, the King's castle really is huge. Same with the paintings of his son. Like, she's what is it with parents and wanting to become grandparents so badly? Do they just like feeling old? I don't know. It's just every now and then my mom asks me when she'll see her grandchildren. It's like you can't just rush through these sort of things. So even as a kid, I've always felt bad for the Grand Duke and the pressure he's put under. Yeah, even Lucifer can't stand their bad sinning. Um, I do plan on making a live action trailer for Heroes of Villains Part Two. Just haven't got around to it yet. The idea was to release it after all of round two is uploaded, but considering I'm still behind on that, I might do it sooner than that. So we'll see. Lucifer, you crafty devil. Well, I mean, you are named after the devil, but nice bubble animation. Well, look, I'll admit a large part of it is my fault because of procrastination, but also just real life and burnout and just life just being busy in general. Like as you get older and you're just so busy with your job and helping your family around the house, it's and plus I try to do other things than Heroes of Villains between this watch on channel and my other projects like the favorite films for decade, the occasional music video, um, other things like that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they reused bubble animation Fantasia for the scene. Cinderella was Cinderella was almost ready to beat the tar out of Lucifer. Shows you that even as kind as she is, she has her limits. No wonder Lady Tremaine is jealous of Cinderella. Her own daughters are just not that competent. Sure you are. She's got you there, Tremaine. You can't go against the king's orders. Odd little fact to bring up regarding chickens, but if if is good. Yes, I saw your comment. Look, I can't just react to every comment you say if there's like nothing I can say in response. Just saying. I don't know because I never saw Sophia the First because it's after my time. So I mean, I guess if there's good CGI footage that could be used for some of the Disney characters, I mean, maybe. Yeah, I know it's made for a younger audience, so that's what I mean when I say it's after my time. So yeah, I know the Kingdom Hearts has plenty of footage that could be used, but we'll see. Yes, this is their first film in the 50s, one of only 5 movies they would put out. No, he's a Minecraft kitty. Yeah, that's that too. Gotta admire Jack's confidence and bravery when dealing with Lucifer. And that's the other thing about a good chunk of this film is just them trying to get Cinderella's dress together. So you mean Nana from Madagascar? Yeah. At least it's the name they gave her in the sequel. Don't know how that exploded and why the string disappeared. And Gus, you must have a really deep hat if it could just fit all those beads. And now Lucifer's an inchworm. Don't see if you're being much help there, Gus. I think you just like riding the scissors. Well, that's one way to do it. Gotta give them nice credit. They are pretty creative. I don't have any plans for Sly Cooper. Again, I'm very limited at what I can include in the tournament, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Alvin the Chipmunks were someone inspired by. Then again, I guess a lot of old cartoon rodents have that high pitched voice, so it's probably not just the Cinderella mice or the chipmunks. Of course, they intended for not to be able to go. They're just that wicked to rob a poor girl's happiness. I mean, I don't know. Does this count as the Silver Age? I always thought the Golden Age started with Snow White and ended with the Jungle Book when when Walt was alive, and then the Silver Age was the '70s and most of the '80s. I mean, at least that's what I always thought it was. And as I think that is, don't quote me on that. I mean, might have to. At least I assume that's what most people say. I forgot this Blu-ray comes with Tangled Ever After. It's a neat little feature. Troy knew exactly what she was doing to get her daughters riled up. Well, you didn't want them, so yes, I know. Tangle will be much later on in the watch along series. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this scene kind of made me uncomfortable as a kid where they rip off her dress. It's just such a horrible scene. And that was her mom's dress too, and that makes it even worse. So this is finally her breaking point, just feeling that her happiness has officially been robbed. I think Rob Walker said it best when he and Doug were talking about the Cinderella remake in their first her their thoughts video, where Rob described this as being the closest thing to a rape scene in a Disney film. Maybe not in the literal sense, but it has that feeling of she with her clothes being ripped off and everything. It has that sense of violation. Poor Cindy. And now here we have the fairy godmother, who I believe is the same actress who later voiced the Queen of Hearts. Yes, and also Aunt Sarah and one of the elephants in Jungle Book. And enter probably the most iconic song for this film, apart from "Dream Is the Wish Your Heart Makes." Admittedly, I like the version that Jafar and Iago sing in that one episode of House of Mouse. Yeah, I never watched Barnyard, so I don't know about that. So, well, I mean, I watched some episodes, but never saw the movie or most of the show. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun in that episode of House of Mouse. Yeah, I don't know why it took the fairy godmother so long to notice her dress being all torn up. I will say this: while I do agree with most people, the Cinderella remake is one of their better remakes, which isn't saying a whole lot. It still wasn't that great. I'm gonna be honest. I never cared for Hallam Labata Carter as the godmother. Like, really, they picked her. Like, was Angela Lansbury not available at the time? Like, wouldn't she made a really good fairy godmother? Yeah, I miss Angela Lansbury. I mean, whether it be her role in Disney films or even in the few villainous roles she's been in, like Manchurian Candidate, or in shows like Murder She Wrote, like what you see behind me. But yeah, and finally see the prince being introduced to all the maidens of the land. A lot of people say the prince of this film is not that interesting because he barely has any screen time or dialogue. Which, in fairness, yes, yes, she was. That was a Fantasia 2000. Um, which I agree. Yeah, the prince could have used more dialogue and scenes. I mean, which thankfully we'll get that in the sequels. But I feel there's a few things people overlook, like his reaction to being here. Like, he knows that this is part of his father's scheme and is not interested in being forced to be married. Well, not forced, but being arranged to marry some random women because he clearly knows these women aren't here out of love, but here because he's the prince. They're there for the riches and the title. So, whereas the prince, he wants to marry, but out of love. There's that funny scene in the third film when he just jumps out the window. Does anyone remember that one animated film from 2007, Happily Never After? Yeah, I remember that film being terrible, but I don't know why. That just kind of remind me of that for some reason. Maybe not the worst Cinderella film ever, but I don't know. That film was trying way too hard to be Shrek. I'm going to be surprised if they reused the prince from Snow White's design for the prince in this film. And yet you're in a fairy tale right now, buddy. Pompous windbag. Look who's talking. Yeah, I know the later voice of the prince would be the same actor who voiced Prince Eric. Yeah, the animation, especially in this part of the film, is really good. They give them their privacy, lady. And we get the song "So This Is Love," a pretty solid romance song. Sorry, my alarm was going off. It's already 6 in the morning. Of the original Disney princes, I say Philip is the best of the three. At least he has the most character and the most personality. And has the most dialogue. So, and he does fight for his love. So, okay then. Mhm. And now it's midnight. How you don't know that's the prince? Like, does Cinderella not know what the prince looks like? Like, New Year's Eve. Yeah, you leave behind the glass slipper. You could have grabbed it right then. Mm. I haven't watched Snowbird yet. I've heard it's a really good short. I know it didn't get nominated for Best Animated Shorts at this year's Oscar, although to be fair, the competition's very stiff. I'll have to check it out when I can. So the animators that did Brother Bear worked on it, huh? All right. Not a fan of Brother Bear, but the animation was pretty good in that movie. Yeah, I heard that they tore down the dinosaur ride attraction in Animal Kingdom. Yeah, it's just the Disney company being greedy and I don't know. And there's the goofy sound effect. Yeah, and the movie itself is aware of that criticism. Like, could just saw his nose off doing that. But I guess it's a magic suit, so yeah, goofy. I guess it's a yeah, magic shoe, so it will only fit the one person that was on. Yeah, this is around the time where my last time the stream kind of stopped. So hopefully this won't happen again. Hopefully we'll hold off until the very end. So because there's only like 15 minutes left. So yeah, now you got it, Cindy. That yes, that was the prince you were dancing with. Sorry, she's kind of too busy just processing that information. Yeah, Tremaine caught on. Gosh, that glare she gives. If looks can kill, and not in that sense, but you know, yeah, the doors that lock from the inside and or no, wait, yeah, something like that. Again, you gotta feel bad for the Duke. Yeah, I've seen her comment. I know you were gone for a little bit. Yeah, I know, I know. I've seen the third film. It's been a long time, but I don't know if we ever get around doing the Disney sequels. God forbid, we'll probably stick to those. I mean, I know the third one is regarded as one of the better sequels. It's all right. I started this stream early anyway, even though I don't have work today. But I want to try to get a few of the watch ons out today if I can, because we have the next Shyamalan movie, then the next few episodes after the Airbender, and the next few episodes of Twin Peaks after that. So at least they got the key. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not that the songs aren't bad. It's just that compared to the songs you get from like the Disney Renaissance films, I just feel don't hold up quite as well. Yeah, it's easy for you to say. You're not the one who needs to lose a few ounces. I was gonna say pounds, but that doesn't sound right to describe a mouse. And the mice are just ready. It's like all the animals had enough of Lucifer's crap. For once, Bruno, your dreams. It looks like Bruno's dreams have come true. For all. Yeah, he's still not fully awake after last night. Not really. Yeah, the birds are strong. The same cat yell that's used a lot in these old cartoons. Just in time. Yep, that right there proves that she's the one. And maybe you do something about you constantly losing your shoes, Cindy. Just saying. I might make another trailer for Heroes versus Villains Part Two, in terms of general, but that might wait a while, depending on how far we get into the series. Well, slippers, shoes, you know what I mean. It's footwear. And they live happily ever after. Probably gonna be saying that a lot with some of these Disney fairy tale films. And so that was Cinderella. And hey, we managed to get through this without the stream crashing. What a miracle. So yeah, I'll be honest, I still, despite the things people say about this film nowadays, I still like the movie. I mean, sure, it's not one of my all-time favorites, but I think it's a solid film overall. I mean, you know, it has good animation. The songs are kind of all right. But yeah, overall, I hope y'all enjoyed this watch along, and I'll probably do another one sometime today. I don't know when next will be M. Night Shyamalan's next movie, Unbreakable, so that will be a lot of fun. Yeah, our next Disney film will be Alice in Wonderland, so that'll be a fun one to do. So, yeah, I'm just going to turn this off. So, yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this watch along, and I'll see y'all in the next one. So, yeah, see y'all then.